All right, what I want to talk about right now is basically how you're going to get your money to buy real estate. There's a couple different ways you can do this, but what we call it is OPM, other people's money. The best thing about real estate investing that I like is we never use our own money to purchase real estate, whether we get it from, excuse me, somebody else that wants to give their money to invest in real estate, or whether we get it from a lender. Like I said, we never use our own money. So one of the great ways to find money to invest in real estate is you can go to Google and type in hard money lenders. Once again, go to Google and type in hard money lenders. There's going to be several that pop up that will actually give you money to purchase these distressed or bank-owned properties, and also give you the money to rehab them. So that's a great way to start out initially if you don't have investors willing to give you money. And then once you do a few homes, you're going to have investors that will trust you and give you the money that you need to purchase the real estate, with their money. But a good way to start is to go to hard money lenders, look it up, see what their criteria is, and you can get money that way. The other way is obviously using other people's money, whether it be friends and family, is a good way to start out. You may have people that would like to delve into the real estate investing endeavor with you, but they'd rather be on the investing side of it and not the actual work part of it. So that's a good way to find money, is through friends and family. Another way is you can run ads in the newspaper, and in the manual that we have that you've read or you will read, it gives examples of ads that you can run to find investors willing to give money for your real estate investing endeavors. You can also talk to other investors that currently purchase homes, because a lot of times they will be willing to invest their money with other investors, so they can get a good interest return on their money also, so it can be working for them also. And the other way is, and this will be more once you start buying and selling properties and people see what you're doing, it's going to be word of mouth through referrals. You will have people eventually calling you up and saying, hey, John Doe's investing with you in real estate right now, and he really seems to enjoy it, and he's making good money. I'd like to sit down and talk to you about giving you some money also for your real estate investing. So, that's another way that you'll come across people willing to give you money. But right now, you might need to run some ads, and if you do, you'll run ads, or whenever you sit down and talk to people about, giving you money to invest in your real estate endeavors, you want to start out by trying to start at the lowest interest rate possible, because right now is a great time for investors to give you money, because a lot of people aren't wanting to invest in the stock market and whatnot because it's getting killed. They're losing money on their 401ks and pension plans. So real estate is always a safe investment for people, because their money is secured by the real estate itself. So they're going to be willing to give you money to purchase your real estate and to rehab it if you offer them a decent interest rate. And like I said, I usually start out at a 10 to 12% annual return on their money, and some people will try to get you up, but I never go above 15% annually to get somebody on their money. And somebody getting between 10 and 15% annually interest on their money, that's great. I mean, they can't get anywhere else. If they put it in their bank account or something, they might get 2 to 3%. If they have a lot of money in there, a CD might pay them 5%. So they're going to be getting double and triple their money by securing their investment in real estate. So when you talk to these people, offer them 10%. If you have to go up to 15, that's fine. You can do that. And like I said, the biggest point for them is, how am I going to get my money back, and how is it secured? Well, let's just give an example. Let's say you have an investor willing to invest $100,000 with you whenever you need it. Let's say you find a property on the market that after you do the rehab to it, the fair market value of that property is $120,000. Let's say you can purchase it for about $55,000, and it needs about $20,000 in rehab. Okay, so you're going to need about $75,000 from a particular investor. where you're going to want to get a little more from them because you're going to have holding costs and things that may come up that you can't foresee. So what I always say is no matter how far below the formula that we give you that you get the property, you always want to get 70% of the fair market value of that property from the investor. So 70% of a $120,000 fair market value property, you're going to be getting $84,000 from that investor. So you want to go ahead and get that full $84,000 from that investor. And the reason why you want to do that is you're going to purchase the property for $55,000. You're going to have $20,000 in rehab. So that right there is $75,000. Well, that leaves you $9,000. Okay. If you hold that property for 3 or 4 months, you're going to have about $1,000 or so a month in holding costs, maybe less, $500 to $1,000. Let's say you hold that property for 3 months, and your holding costs are $2,500. Well, that leaves $6,500 left over. Where does that money go? Well, you can pocket that money. You just made $6,500 already on your first property. Okay, and you still have 30% equity in the house because you borrowed 70% of the aftermarket, of the fair market value from the investors. So, you have a $120,000 property. You borrowed $84,000 from the investor, and you've already pocketed $6,500. Let's say you gave that investor 12% annually on their interest rate. Okay, and let's say it takes you 3 months to close on this property. So what you're going to owe that investor, $84,000 times 12%, is $10,080 for the year. Okay, if you divide that by 12, that's $840 a month in interest that you're going to be paying that investor. Times the 3 months is $2,520 plus the $84,000 you owe him. So when you close on this property, you're going to owe him $86,520. Okay, so let's say you sell the property in 3 months, you get the full amount of the fair market value, $120,000. Let's actually say it's less than that. Okay, let's say you only you sell it for $110,000. Okay, so $110,000, and you owe your investor $86,520. Let's say you have some closing costs and other fees involved of about $3,000. Okay, so plus $3,000, you're going to owe them $89,520. We're just going to round it up to $90,000 to make it easy. Okay, so you sold that property for $110,000. You owe your investor $90,000, so you just pocketed $20,000 on that one property. But don't forget, you pocketed $6,500 earlier in the process when they gave you the 70% of the fair market value. So on this first property alone, you just pocketed $26,500. That's basically how the process actually works. And I was saying earlier that their money is secured by real estate, okay, by the real estate itself. So what I mean is, when you close on this property in the beginning, before you rehab it or anything, this investor is going to give you a certified check for $84,000 when you go to the closing. You buy this property for $55,000, okay? At closing, you're going to have a note written up, which is in the manual. You're going to see it, and you're going to see an example of it. You're going to have the investor's name, your company name on this mortgage note, what you've borrowed from the investor, which is $84,000, what your annual interest rate is, and that you're not going to pay this investor back until you sell this property and you close on it with a prospective buyer, or you refinance the property and get him his money back that way if you want to hold it as a rental. So they know this ahead of time. So at closing, you're going to close on this property. You're going to have an $84,000 check. You buy it for $55,000, and the difference will come back to you. Okay, so the title company will be giving you a check back for $29,000 that you will put in your business account, and you'll use that money for your expenses. Okay, so that $29,000 will go towards your rehab of the property and your holding costs and things like that, and whatever's left over you'll pocket. So that mortgage note for that $84,000 that you and your investor have written up, the title company will actually record it after the closing. It'll go down to the county court office, and whenever you go to sell this property on the back end for $120,000, at the closing, before you get your check, there's going to be a lien that comes up on this property with your investor's name on it, okay, showing that you owe him $84,000 plus 12% interest annually, and they'll figure out the payments, and so will you. So at the closing, your investor will get his $84,000 check back plus his interest, and then you'll get the remainder of the check, which will be the $20,000. So that's basically how it works in a nutshell. It's pretty easy to go through. Once you read the manual and you go through the documents, you'll see exactly how the mortgage note works, how it's recorded. You'll be able to understand a little more how you can find investors and work the interest rate out with them. The best way to start, like I said, I would start by talking to friends and family. I really don't suggest that you use your own money, even if you have it, just because if you start getting it tied up in real estate and you ever get in a bind and you need that money, it may take you a few months to sell that real estate, and then you have no cash on hand. So that's why I always like using other people's money through my investor network or using hard money lenders. So you might want to listen to this audio a few times. Make sure you go through the OPM part of the manual so you understand everything a little more in detail, and make sure that this is a very, very important part of the real estate investing aspect. You never want to get tied up using your own money, and there's always people out there willing to give you money for real estate investing, because real estate is always going to have a good security, and you're never going to get hurt in real estate by investing in it. So let's move on to the next audio.